My name's Mary. I am a marketing consultant, and I also happen to have 6 young children. And the one thing I did not have was political experience. So that changed a year ago when I decided that I wanted to help Charlie Hales get elected as Portland's mayor. So I saw that his social media needed quite a bit of help, so I called him up and told him that I could help him with that. I got together with him, and I ended up running the social media for his primary and then his general. Then I was asked to lead the social media for the pro-fluoride campaign. That had very different results, but it had a lot of learning lessons as well. One of those is if you are working on campaigns, you are going to lose any balance you have in your life. With me, it showed up in my kids. I took all 6 kids to an event one night. We had a great time, got home, put them to bed. The phone rang. I had left one of them there. Or my daughter, I took her to her first Justin Bieber concert. A huge story broke as I was at the concert, and I watched about 5 minutes of Bieber fever. You also have to let go of some of your pride. I decided to wear a Moms for Fluoride shirt for 45 days in a row, everywhere I went in Portland. I really wanted to get away from the computer and have one-on-one conversations with people, which was incredibly helpful. But I really lost my pride when I decided to stop wearing pants the last 30 days of the campaign. Things really went downhill at that point. You should never jump to conclusions. I gave Charlie lessons on how to tweet. Twitter was not his thing at all, so I managed all the Twitter. One day there were 2 terrible tweets that went out from the campaign. I was convinced we had been hacked. I changed the passwords. I interrogated all the staff members, and it turns out Charlie had sent the tweets himself. So I realized that the candidate had hacked his own account, and he was no longer allowed to tweet after that. You also can't really say what you want. You don't have personal opinions when you work on a campaign. You really lose your right to free speech. You're representing the campaign 24 hours a day, and that was very challenging for me. People are posting things on your Facebook page. You're reading blogs. You're seeing all kinds of misinformation. For me, I had to keep calm and bite my tongue, and that's how I got through it. Right now, as I'm speaking, there's probably 100 people in their basement in Portland that are vitamin D deficient, and all they're doing is tweeting and posting about how upset they are. These are internet trolls. Do not engage with them, no matter what. Spend your time engaging with undecided voters. You will never convince them to get on your side, ever. It's very important to connect to voters' emotions. I did lots of posts about Charlie at debates or Charlie talking about different issues, and I decided to run a little campaign about how much Charlie loved Portland. I started posting beautiful pictures of iconic places in the city. All of a sudden, engagement just went through the roof, because I wasn't talking about my candidate anymore. I was talking about how much people loved Portland, and they could really get behind that. So I took that concept and I made a custom cover photo for Charlie about how much he loved Portland. I posted it on Facebook, and within 15 minutes, my phone was ringing off the hook. What I heard on the other end is, Mary, why does Charlie love Fartland? And Mary, why does Charlie have a penis coming out of his head? I did not expect that whatsoever, and it had to be taken down immediately. The last thing I would say is social media is supposed to be about transparency, but sometimes it doesn't work in your favor. Charlie's opponent had an assault charge against him in college, which became public. So he went to the person's house, left a note to talk about what had happened. And even though it looked transparent, it made people stand back and go, dude, you went to her house, really? Super uncool. So it ended up not working for him at all, that level of transparency. So working on campaigns is definitely a roller coaster ride. There's lots of ups, there's lots of downs, but it really is a fun ride. All of you right now could pick up the phone or tweet and get involved in any campaign or issue that you wanted. I highly recommend that you do it. But if nothing else, please exercise your right to vote. Thanks.